The night pressed in with an oppressive darkness, surrounding Emily and me as we stood alone on the desolate train platform. We were far removed from any signs of civilization, and the daunting realization that we had missed the last train had left us stranded in a place that seemed untouched by the world. The wind howled mournfully through the desolation, and a sense of helplessness clung to us. In the distance, a haunting whistle pierced the eerie silence. The faint glow of approaching train headlights revealed an ancient locomotive, its presence defying explanation. The atmosphere was heavy with unease, but a mixture of curiosity and desperation overcame our fear, compelling us to board this enigmatic train. The train's doors groaned open, revealing a dimly lit interior that felt like a portal to a different era. The threadbare seats and the windows warped by the passage of time gave the impression that we had stepped into a bygone world. The air was laden with the musty scent of history, and the train appeared devoid of life, with no passengers or conductor in sight. As the train rumbled to life, we peered out of the window to see a fog-covered landscape rushing past. The most disconcerting aspect was that this train didn't make any stops, as if it were a vehicle of the unknown, hurtling through time and space without regard for the rules of reality. Hours blurred into an indistinguishable passage of time, and our anxiety deepened. The urge to uncover the truth of this bizarre journey was irresistible. Hand in hand, we embarked on a journey through the dimly lit carriages, our footsteps echoing eerily in the suffocating silence. Our exploration led us to the final carriage, where a group of shadowy figures awaited, their presence casting a heavy pall over the room. Their eyes emitted an unnatural, malevolent glow, and they conversed in an unfamiliar, ominous language, a discordant symphony of unsettling voices. Sinister grins twisted their faces, and their gaze seemed to pierce the deepest recesses of our souls. Terror seized us, and we hastily retreated to our seats, but the train showed no signs of stopping. It was as if it had claimed us as unwilling passengers in this nightmarish journey from which there was no escape. Suspense and fear gnawed at our hearts as the train forged ahead. Its destination remained a closely guarded secret, a sinister riddle crafted by those malevolent passengers, like a puzzle with no solution. We clung to each other for support, the feeling of dread growing with every passing mile. As the nightmarish journey continued, we couldn't ignore the chilling reality that our curiosity had ensnared us in an unsolvable nightmare. We were captives in a story that defied logic and reason, and the malevolent passengers held the key to a dark and sinister secret. The boundaries of reality blurred, and we were left to ponder an inscrutable and malevolent fate, an ordeal that would haunt us for eternity. The night was cloaked in an unsettling darkness, and I found myself on a desolate train platform far from civilization. The platform, overgrown with weeds and with flickering, eerie overhead lamps, gave an ominous feeling to the deserted landscape. My heart pounded in my chest as I realized I had missed the last train of the night, leaving me stranded in this forsaken place, with nothing but the distant howls of the wind for company. As I stood there, my breath forming fog in the frigid air, a distant, haunting whistle pierced the silence. I turned to see the faint, otherworldly glow of approaching headlights, and a bone-chilling realization washed over me. This was no ordinary train. It was a relic from a bygone era, rusted and worn, with an aura of malevolence that sent shivers down my spine. Curiosity, mixed with a growing sense of dread, took hold of me, and I decided to board this mysterious locomotive. The train's doors groaned open, revealing a dimly lit interior that seemed to have been untouched by time. The seats were threadbare, and the windows, covered in a patina of age, distorted the view of the outside world. The air inside carried a heavy scent of history, as if the train had borne witness to untold mysteries. To my unease, the train appeared devoid of life, without a single passenger or a conductor in sight. As the train began to move, I peered out of the window to witness a fog-covered landscape rushing past. But something was dreadfully wrong. This train wasn't making any stops. It was as if it existed outside of time and space, hurtling through the unknown, isolated from the rest of the world. Hours turned into an eternity as I sat there, anxiety growing with every passing moment. I could no longer ignore the urge to uncover the truth behind this bizarre journey. Gathering my courage, I ventured through the dimly lit carriages, my footsteps echoing eerily in the haunting silence. My exploration led me to the final carriage. In its dimly lit cabin, a group of shadowy figures huddled together, their eyes glowing with an unsettling, malevolent light. They whispered in a language I couldn't comprehend, a cacophony of eerie voices that sent a shiver down my spine. Their sinister grins, stretching grotesquely across their faces, were etched in my mind like a nightmarish painting. Panicked, I retreated to my seat, but the train showed no intention of stopping. It was as if it had claimed me as its own, an unwitting passenger in a journey to an unknown destination. Suspense and terror gripped me as the train continued its relentless march through the inky darkness. I had no control over my fate. I was a prisoner in a story that defied explanation. The train's destination remained an impenetrable mystery, a secret guarded by those malevolent passengers. As the nightmarish journey pressed on, I was overwhelmed by the chilling realization that my curiosity had ensnared me in an unfathomable nightmare. I was helpless, and there was no escape from this sinister train and its malevolent passengers. The boundaries of reality and nightmare blurred, and I was a victim in a story that held me in its icy grip, hurtling towards an unimaginable, malevolent destiny. The night was as dark as the shadows that danced in the corners of my mind. The storm raged, and the rain soaked me to the bone as I found myself stranded on an isolated train platform. It was the kind of place untouched by human presence for what felt like ages, and my heart raced in the pitch-black stillness. It was a fateful night where I had missed the last train home, and there was no one around to help me. The wind howled through the empty station, sending an eerie chill down my spine. Flickering overhead lamps cast erratic, ghostly patterns of light on the damp platform, making the night feel even more surreal. Loneliness and fear settled in as the minutes stretched into an eternity. But then, salvation appeared on the horizon, a distant, eerie whistle. I strained my eyes to see the approaching headlights, praying it was my ticket out of this desolation. However, my relief was short-lived when I saw the train that rolled in. It was a decrepit relic of a bygone era, unlike any modern train I'd ever seen. My curiosity was piqued, and in that moment of desperation, I decided to board the enigmatic train. The doors groaned open, revealing a dimly lit interior. Tattered seats bore witness to the passage of time, and cracked windows framed the world outside, distorted by the rain-streaked glass. The air inside was heavy with the scent of forgotten years, and the train appeared utterly deserted. I hesitated, but I couldn't ignore the pull to explore the unknown. As the train began to move, I gazed out of the window to see the fog-covered landscape rushing past. It was surreal. This train didn't make any stops, and an eerie silence enveloped the carriages. It was as if time itself had halted, and I was trapped in a pocket of history. Hours passed, and the uneasy feeling that had settled within me transformed into an unshakable dread. The dim, flickering lights overhead cast eerie, dancing shadows. I couldn't deny it any longer. I had to uncover the mystery of this bizarre journey. I ventured through the dimly lit carriages, my footsteps echoing eerily in the silence, until I reached the last one. In the dimness, I saw them, shadowy figures huddled together, their eyes emitting an unnatural, malevolent glow. They whispered in an unfamiliar, ominous language, their twisted grins sending shivers down my spine. My heart pounded as I fled back to my seat, but the train showed no sign of stopping. I was trapped, hurtling through the unknown darkness with those sinister passengers. Suspense and terror gripped me as the train's destination remained a well-guarded secret. I knew I had to find a way to escape, but with each passing mile, the train seemed to draw me deeper into an unfathomable nightmare, into a history forgotten by all but those eerie passengers. The journey continued, and I couldn't escape the chilling realization that my curiosity had led me into a living nightmare. As the train hurtled forward, I could only hope to uncover the sinister secret that bound me to this nightmarish ride and find a way to survive the darkest of journeys. Yaon,